pay their rent.
No, they can't.
And so I don't want, but then that's my point. Let's get this free rental assistance that's coming from the federal government. That money is already there and earmarked. And I would challenge Diane to work with me. Let's get the money, the information about rental assistance into the hands of those tenants. When you're pulling them, going to knock on their doors, will you give them information about rental assistance, Diane?
We have. And this is the thing. They spent $8 million here in Kansas City. We keep asking the city who got it, because the people that we talked to didn't get any rental assistance. Why is the answer always, we're out of money?
Let me tell you who got it. And the reason I know is because, like I said, I'm involved in it hands-on. One of my ultimate goals is to not only lift people out of poverty, but to help them improve their financial position in life. The way to do that is to maintain your build and your positive credit. So when we knew that the school assistance was in town, and we knew that people were having problems paying their rent, we're looking around. Nobody is helping that tenant get the rent paid. There's a lot of talk, but no one is helping the tenant that I'm hearing from saying, I can't pay my rent. And so we reached out to one of the entities that had the money. We reached out to the United Way. We reached out to the city of Kansas City. They had the funding. The money, the $8 million you're talking about, that's where it is. And so we said, what can we do to help you? And we actually did an event that we actually shared the information about the resources. And we invited landlords, we invited tenants, property managers, realtors, anyone that had access to tenants. And we invited you all. You all did not participate with us, but that's fine, because what we were able to do in a short period of time, in a less than a 2-week period of time, we helped the United Way get between $100,000 and $150,000 in rental assistance into the hands of the tenants, who were then wiped free of their past debt right before Christmas and the holidays. So they didn't have to go into the holidays worried about, oh my God, I have thousands of dollars of rent due. So they were able to go in with a clear debt. Their debt was cleared. They could focus on the holiday with their family, and then getting into the new year with a fresh start. My concern and my number one goal, $150,000.
Yeah, I know. That covers, if they owe $100,000, that's 150 people, right?
Well, and it was more than that, because I know the stories of the families that had a lot of rent paid, and it was more than that. And in any event, I think what you're looking for from this city is $1.2 million you mentioned for your office of tenant advocate. That is administrative cost. I would rather have that $1.2 million going into the tenant's hands and the landlord's hands to get the rent paid, so housing is secure. I don't want it paying somebody's salary sitting in City Hall, and that's what you're advocating for, is budget money for administrative costs for government workers. That's what it's for.
Not correct. I'm sorry. That is
where would that $1.2 million go? What would that do?
Well, the way we have it broken down, and keep in mind that in the city's budget, by the way, there's $65,000 going just for the police car wash, by the way. But in our budget, what we're trying to do, not only for people that will actually get out in the community and explain and provide information to renters, but we're also providing training, we're providing costs, we're providing other costs other than just administrative. We don't like that administrative heavy, top heavy stuff either. Matter of fact, in the neighborhood housing services, 16% of their budget is for administration. That's in the millions. That one is in the millions.
I have an idea, Diane. How do we do this? I'm doing the work free. You don't need to pay somebody at City Hall. My peers, the other houses, like other landlords, a diverse group of various racial makeup, we're doing the work free right now today to get the word out. So what I'm saying is that $1.2 million, I will join with you to say, hey, city, don't spend that in the office. Let's get that money directly into the hands of kids, many of whom are black and brown in our city. $1.2 million can pay a lot of rent and keep people in their homes, so that when it's time to buy a home, their credit has been restored and maintained and preserved. So will you commit with me, Diane, that we can change up if you're asking for the money to get people on the streets to do things and salaries for somebody sitting in a concrete building? Will you join with me today if we say let's allocate that $1.2 million to put it directly into the pockets of those who need it so that they can live in their homes securely? Will you do that with me?
Okay, before you answer that, Ms. Charity, the young lady, one of my former humor participants, you didn't say what district you live in, and the people please just say what district. For a lot of people might not know. So in order for you to get involved, and let's respect one another, and don't assume that people know who you are. State your name and how you can reach. And this is MC Richardson asking you to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson. Mr. Richardson, I know you from, like you said, my twin sister Tracy and I were students, black journalist students, almost 40 years ago with you. So my name is Stacey Johnson Cosby. I live in South Kansas City. And as I mentioned, I'm a real estate agent, so I sell people houses. I've been licensed for about 34 years selling houses, selling the American dream. And my husband and I, Dwayne, we are housing providers or landlords. We choose to invest in our city and provide affordable housing, and we've done that for a little over 25 years. And I lead an organization, as I mentioned, the KC Regional Housing Alliance. If someone wants to get involved with us, actually helping to keep tenants housed and spreading the word about the rental assistance, they may reach us on our website at kcregionalhousingalliance.org. Again, that's kcregionalhousingalliance.org. If they want to reach me by email, kcregionalhousingalliance@gmail.com.
And when you inform the people that you are twins, so that means double trouble or double pleasure for anyone. And then let's add your husband in there, because you are his boss also.
Yes, thank you. And I hope he can hear this, so I want him to hear that, because you said that, Mr. Richardson. Yes, sir.
Already.
And if I could say one more thing about my family, too. My mom happens to be a twin, but my parents were both military veterans. And so my mom served in the Army. I know my mom served with you. And so my mom's a military veteran, both my parents in the Army. And so they raised a lot of people that are service-oriented. I have two sisters that are in the Air Force. One of them is a colonel in the Air Force. Her name is Connie Johnson Cage, and she is serving FEMA right now and helping to get the vaccine distributed across this country. And my sister Tracy Hawkins is Tracy the safety lady, and she is a personal safety person. And my little brother is also an entrepreneur, and we all own our own businesses. And my mom raised good servants.
What are they doing about housing?
They're living in them.
Exactly.
And what I'm doing about housing, so housing is what I'm doing. And so what I'm doing is I'm helping the people find housing to live in.
Hold on. Tell us the phone number where the average person who's getting evicted, that 49-year-old black woman who is single with kids, what phone number does she call to get some of the money to forgive them?
Okay, that's what I want her to do, because we're going to have an event with the $30 million in town. We did this before, and as I mentioned, we're going to do it again. And so anyone that wants information about that event, where we share the details, because the city and the United Way are putting together the application process now, and I'm waiting with bated breath. Once that becomes available, if someone that goes to our website puts their email address, there's a form on there to add your email address, we will send the notice out when we do our event, where we announce the funds and how they're made available. And remember, we have $30 million to spend. I want to use every single penny. I don't want any of it to go back to the federal government because it's not spent. If someone needs to reach me, and I tell you, I get calls all the time. It's almost like I'm a hotline where people say, I need help. And I say, just text me. They can text me if they need to reach me, 816-591-5921. I have no problem talking to anyone. If they text me an email address and say, I want to be notified of the event, I will let them know. But my goal right now is to help people get that rent paid. I want them to avoid the eviction. You avoid the eviction, and you don't have to worry about eviction moratoriums or any of that. Stay in your home, people. Preserve your credit. Yes.
Okay. No money
That's
now.
awesome. We'll give that number out for those that call us, because the city has people calling KC Tenants Hotline to try to find ways to get them their rent paid. And so, we'll give them your number from now on.
Okay, you can be smart like that if you want to, Diane. No, I'm saying for the people. Listen to this. Listen. But you guys are getting paid, Diane. I'm not getting paid. What I'm trying to do is to help the person that needs.
Are you kidding me?
your leader is. Your organization is breaking in money from various organizations. Your organization gets money, and I know that for a fact. Let's not talk about that part. I want to talk about helping people. I want to talk about helping people.
Wait, people, me. I don't think that's true.
I know. But if I
hold on now. There's no money now, is what you're telling me. When will the money be here so that the people can get it?
The money is in the city has the money in $14 million is in the city's bank account today. Like I mentioned earlier, they're working on the details and the plan on how to get the application process and get the guidelines in place. They're working on that with all the agencies that are getting funding. And a better number, and so let me say that the number that I gave is my personal cell number. My personal cell number is the number I gave to someone that says, hey, Stacey, I want to help you with this, help the tenants get the money. If people need help at any time, the United Way is always a number, 211. From any cell phone, 211, you call the United Way. And what I'm saying is they may not have the money today, but they will have it. And the Office of the Tenant Advocate in the city of Kansas City is also where they can call too. And like I said, they have the money too. The Office of the Tenant Advocate is 816-513-3026. That's 513-3026.
They'll give them our number. They'll give them KC's number.
No, they won't.
The advocate office is full of
Okay, hold on, please. I'm going to ask y'all both the same question. Okay? You may have different answers, but I'm going to ask you both the same question. Here's the question, and you can decide who's on first. What does the mom, what does the dad, what does the tenant that's getting evicted next week do while she's waiting on everything to get worked out in terms of the details?
I can let Ms. Charity answer first.
Oh, I just knew it would be you. We have some resources that we can help them at least appear in court. We can't represent in court, but we do have an outstanding attorney office that will help, and that's the Heartland Center for Jobs and Freedom. And we give those numbers out when that's the challenge. But sounds like we got a place to get money now. Goodness,
okay.
So my answer is twofold. Number one, communicate with your landlord. If you're 1 month or if you're 6, 7, 8 months down or behind, communicate. No landlord wants to evict anyone. That is the last resort. So if you can let them know, hey, I'm behind, but I know that the city has $14 million, the county has $11 million, and once the application process is in place, I'm going to work with you, landlord, to fill out my part of the paperwork if you'll do the same. And in the meantime, they can call, like I said, 211, and then they can call the Office of the Tenant Advocate to ask, do you have any money now? Because there was some CARES Act funding left over that is out there. But, like I said, $30 billion is coming. And if they don't have the information now, they can call those two numbers in a week or in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but know that they are working on putting the guidelines and application process in place, and there is money to be spent to get the rent paid, and we don't need to worry about eviction moratoriums or evictions at all. Let's avoid it. And if anyone wants to help us plan it, if they want to help plan or work with our group with the housing providers that really want to keep people housed and help them get caught up on the rent and help us plan the event and disseminating information, that's where they call me on my cell number, or they can email me on that email address at KC Regional Housing Alliance at Gmail.
Okay, so
Tracy, we only have so much time, so Rob, can you kind of help us out a little bit here? Get to the top of the hour.
Well, I think that we can see that this is a topic that is not dominating perspectives here in Kansas City, but across the whole state and probably the entire nation. Citizens are taking to the streets, demanding an effective way to be able to advocate for themselves in light of government programs that, like Kansas City, has $14 million sitting in an account, but not being directed for even as more money's on the way. We've got industry leaders like Stacey, who is, as I understand, a renowned realtor working on behalf of landlords and property owners.
Tenants.
But two very different cultures, to be sure, right? And so I just think it's fantastic that we've been able to be together today. I look forward to being back, because whether there is a pot of money that will relieve the liability that the tenants have, or there's a moratorium, or there's some other way or solution to keep people from being put out into the street during the pandemic. I'll be looking forward to hearing from that. But I appreciate you both for being on. This is wonderful. We've got our ways to be able to contact you, and I'll look forward to talking with you both later on.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
God bless.
Okay, let's Diane and Stacy, give how people can communicate, and do you need volunteers, or do you welcome volunteers to be part of your operation?
Stacy can go first.
Okay. Thank you, Diane. I appreciate that. And we want volunteers who will help us get the word out. And again, I'm a housing advocate. We work for the renter as well as the housing provider, the landlord, because without one, the other doesn't exist. I need the renter as much as they need me. And so we're two sides to one coin, and anyone that wants to help us get together and reach those people who need rental assistance, please reach me at kcregionalhousingalliance.org, or you have my cell number, 816-591-5921. You may text me and say, Stacey, I'm willing to help get the word out to help keep people housed and avoid eviction.
Well, thank each and every one of you, and our co-host. He's right on job, and he's not only operating in Jeff City, but Kansas City. He's also part of the NAACP, one of the community civil rights organization, and we want you to acknowledge one another, and I think you did a tremendous job, and I was guaranteed, not told, guaranteed, that our listenership would increase. Now, UMA, United Minority Media Association, we're looking, recruiting people to be in our components, and we serve everyone. So without further notice, and also we got that person with that Missouri chamber, would you give your information, Mr. R. folks?
Yes, but let Diane give her information first.
Thank you.
He's a gentleman, isn't that something?
Mine is short and sweet. KKFI.org. You hear me?
The KCTenants.org?
The number is 816-533-5435.
All right.
Okay, Rod, attorney, and with the NAACP, he expressed interest after my little persuasion. He's going to become a part of our component of working with not only the NAACP, but any other community action groups, and we appreciate that. Now, next week, everybody want to know about the ancestry. Everybody want to know where I come from, who I came from, and we're going to have a special show on genealogy, headed up by our youth person, which is Cheyenne Hubbard, and also another young lady I met that we're going to go back in April on the murder that happened back in 1923. She's out of Bowman, Montana, so be sure to turn on and tune in. If you need to reach me, 816-822-8866. Rod, you must have did a lot of research. You did quite a job today.
Hey, listen, I've been listening to your show, and it's truly something to learn from a profession.
Okay, we talking about the Missouri Black Chamber. We're talking about not only we talk about Ferguson USA Hot Talk Radio, but also on YouTube. We're also on the Facebook, and we're looking. Hopefully, I understand that we might be doing a simulcast with another local station. So we will broad base all our information, and we want you to work with us, right, everybody?
Yeah. So also, MC, Rob and I will be doing a joint. We put together a big Zoom call for both our organizations sometime next month. We're going to invite everybody to come back and be a part of that.
Yes, please. That is going to be fantastic, and thank you. I certainly appreciate the Black Chamber for being a part of that, and I think it'll be wonderful for our communities.
Well, without further ado, be sure to tune in next week and tell all your friends. We'll check with our engineer, Scott Owen, on how many listeners, so you guys don't be falsified the numbers like your former President Trump falsified every number. He was always the largest and the best. But this is Missouri, and we'll show you.
And we work together.
Right on.
Kansas City, here I come. got some crazy little women. One day I'm gonna get me one.
Born and raised in North Philly, Kansas City. Born at Wheatley Hospital, and they used to say that when I was my first marriage, I was married to the community. My daughter, who's a doctor of nursing, she says that our acronym humor is my wife, and media is my passion. So when people ask me to get involved with something, they want me to find out if I can work with them. I said, let me check with my wife first. And with that note, we're out of here.
All right, to Kansas City. Kansas City, here I come.